Hey guys, and welcome back to the Teach the Children podcast. I am your host, Laura Battles, and this week I am all on my own. I don't have a guest with us. It's the middle of summer, and so I know a lot of people are on travel and just enjoying sort of their time off from doing formalized school. But come this fall, I would like to get back into a more of a guest type style podcast. So if you are wanting to come on here and tell us a little bit about something you do, reach out to me, or maybe you're an expert in a specific subject, whatever it is, reach out to me and we can get that podcast up and running. But until then, I wanted to talk this week just a little bit about some more of the curriculum we use around the Battles house. So last week I talked about how I teach reading and spelling. And this week I wanted to I wanted to tell you how I sort of incorporate penmanship into our house. And a lot of people have even wondered why I teach cursive. And I would like to say that I do teach cursive. All my kids will eventually get through the cursive portion of what I'm about to show you. And they like writing in cursive. And so once they get through the program, through all 5 levels, which now my son, who's going into middle school, is all done with all the levels of cursive writing and penmanship, I tell him he can do it however he wants to. Sometimes I do assign certain things cursive only, just so that he remembers and keeps it up. But I remember being about middle school age where I started making my writing my own. And so that's sort of what I want him to get into this year, is sort of taking ownership of how he wants to write, making sure what he writes is legible, but knowing that he can fall back on both and that he can read. That's the other thing, read both print and cursive. So to get into it, I teach penmanship with handwriting without tears, or learning without tears. We started this when we were at Homeschooling. It was my son was in first grade when we started doing it. They actually also taught this at the kindergarten public school he went to, but we got it at Homelink, and I really liked it because it is a little bit on the dry side. Yes, it's a little bit on the boring side. Some subjects I think are just that. They're boring and they're dry. Like, I can't really find a creative, fun way to teach penmanship. And so I just was like, we're going to suck it up. And this is one way this is something we have to do. But I don't have so it starts with level A and B. I don't have any of those books because all 3 of my kids have gone through just the print, but I like how they do it because they start with, learning C, and then from C you go into O because it's just completing the circle, and then an A because it has a tail, and then you have the circles, and then you learned D and B, P, Q, and then you go into the more complex letters. And then at the end of levels A and B, you start putting letters together in sentences. And so it really does a good job of teaching your foundation in A, building on it in level B. And then C, I believe this is level C that I have here. If not, I think C is just taking it one step further with penmanship. Level D gets you into cursive. Now, you need to make sure that your child's hand is fully developed. And that is something, I'm not an expert in teaching penmanship. I just am telling you what I use. If you are wondering if your child's hand is ready for cursive, is ready for penmanship in general, there's lots of YouTube videos out there that I would recommend you going and looking at just to confirm. But a lot of that stuff is just developed with playing with like Play-Doh, playing with like that kinetic sand, just going outside and playing and not always having a pencil in the child's hand. And so my kids had plenty of that. They loved Play-Doh. They love painting. They love playing outside in the dirt. And we do karate. So I wasn't really too concerned about their hand strength and them being able to hold a pencil and to write. That's why we got into cursive. So my youngest starts cursive this year. And this is, if you're watching on YouTube, this is the book that he's going to start. It's cursive handwriting. And this does a really good job of not just only introducing cursive, but teaching them to read in cursive. And so, again, it starts off with, that's what it is, the magic C. It's just a curve. And then they show you how to connect C's. So you make lots of C's. And then you make an A. And then from there, it looks like you make a D and then a Q. And then you start your tall letters that go up and your letters that go down. You work on the letters that are easy connectors, those ones that aren't. And then at the end of this level, so this is level C. No, it's not. I'm sorry, I don't know. Anyways, this book, Cursive Handwriting, is the first cursive book in the Handwriting Without Tears series that I use. At the end of the book, they get into writing words, writing some sentences, a few question and answers, just basic, like making sure that you can read what's going on. And then they get into capital letters. And capital letters are tricky because it's like split. Half of them you don't connect and half of them you do connect. And a lot of capital letters don't look like printed capital letters. So it always throws my kids for a loop the first year they do cursive. But by the time you're done with the next cursive book, they're on track. No big deal. So my daughter is doing this green book, and this is the last book in this series. So there is a book between what I just showed you, the beginning cursive, and this book. It just grows and builds on what you taught in the beginning cursive series. Just like how B builds on A, C builds on B, then D is cursive. There's a book E, and then the final book that I know of is book F, this green book, and cursive is called Can Do Cursive. Everything is in cursive. So the beginning, it's just a quick review, and then it really gets into making sure you can write all the kinds of words in cursive. There's you read it in cursive, then you respond in cursive. And this book also does a fairly good job of introducing some grammar into what you're doing. And if you haven't touched on grammar much, this is a great way to introduce grammar. And that's sort of what we did. I introduced grammar with my oldest a little bit last year, and we're doing more this summer. But it just helps reinforce a little bit of what you're doing around the house. So that's what I choose to do. These books also have a companion series with them called Building Writers. And I do have a bunch of these. This is level C, and I do have a level B, Building Writers. And I know it's really bright in the house, so there we go. Building Writers. I'll hold on this side if you're watching on YouTube. These are really good because they show you information writing, and it will be like elephants are large animals, and so they'll write out a sentence, then you copy it, and then it goes to the next sentence. So that's the introduction. Fact, they have long trunks. Your child writes, copies that sentence. A new fact, they have short trunks, or you can say they have long trunks, or they can come up with their own thing. And then the conclusion, elephants are gigantic, and then they copy that. So it sort of introduces how to do a paragraph. And then by the end, it gives you them, like on this page, gives you all these fun facts about tortoises, and then you can write a paragraph about it. And that's in level B. And then level C, they're actually giving you full on empty pages. So your kid can draw a picture up here on the top and then write on the bottom. And you do that after you go over a subject. So one of them is compare and contrast. So they start you off and they give you things to copy. Then they ask you to compare and contrast something, and then you write your own paragraphs. And I really like the way this is set up, and just really helps just introduce them to some grammar, how to write paragraphs, just the basics. I would choose, and I am going to choose another writing program here this year or next year, I'm not sure, that goes way more in depth. And I'm going to do a grammar program that goes way more in depth so they can teach grammar. So they can learn all the grammar in writing, and they can learn how to do like a 5-sentence paragraph, excuse me, and then build a whole essay. But and I wouldn't choose building writers to do that. I mean, sure you can. I'm just going to choose something a little bit different here in the upcoming months and maybe year. And when I get to that, I will let you guys know what I choose. But I just want to come on here real quick and tell you what I'm choosing for penmanship this fall. Now, our language arts program that we also use, which I will do a podcast about another time, has on Monday the worksheets for Monday is writing. So my kids will do 1 or 2 pages out of Handwriting Without Tears. And then on Monday, they will also on Monday, they just do the writing prompt out of our other curriculum, we'd use Sunlight. And so they do the writing prompt out of there on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, they do Handwriting Without Tears. So they do about 2 pages on each day. And then on Thursday, we do co-op. And on Friday, they have usually some sort of writing assignment, again, back out of Sunlight that they've been working on all week. And so they get writing sprinkled throughout the week. If they have to, in math, I expect nice hand penmanship. If they're writing in their journal or doing spelling, I expect penmanship. That's in spelling. That's where I asked my son, my oldest, to also write in cursive so it can use. He uses 2 things. He's practicing his cursive and spelling. So there's lots of ways to incorporate penmanship if you don't want to do a formal program. Nothing's to say that you have to use Handwriting Without Tears or else your kids will not learn to write. Or if your kids are writing and you've never actually formally taught them, then perfect. Don't worry about it. I know families in our co-op who only teach cursive. And I know families that don't teach cursive at all. So it's really a personal preference, what you want to do. My biggest thing, though, is if they're going to learn how to write in cursive, make sure they also learn how to read in cursive. And I just feel like that's a great skill to know. My kids will sometimes get letters from grandparents or other people who strictly write in cursive, and they're the littlest two who haven't really been introduced to cursive much will struggle through that. And my son now is starting to catch on and be able to read that. And I just think that's a great skill to have and to know, especially when so much is done electronically nowadays. So he can just pick up most letters and be able to read them now. So that's what we use for Handwriting Without Tears. I will continue showcasing some of the curriculum options I use here at home, some that I have used in the past. But I just I know it's the middle of summer. We're in the end of July. It's starting to get hot, and I know my kids are starting to sort of seem like they want a structure back in the home. And so I just want to come on here and just remind you that mamas, you're doing amazing. You're doing great. It is the middle of summer, and you might be pulling your hair out with your kids because there is no structure in your day. And that's good. My kids have come to me a couple times in the last few weeks and said, "Hey, Mom, I'm bored." And I'm like, oh, are you? Let me talk to you about being bored. Do you want to be unbored? And they just look at me, and you can tell that they're like, uh-oh, we said something wrong. And then, so I'll be like, well, if you're bored, then I have lots of chores you can do. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, no, we're not bored. And they go back outside and find something to do. And so moms, you're doing awesome. Stick with it this summer. And before you know it, you'll be back busier than you ever thought you could be, taking them to all their activities and just getting back into the swing of homeschool. So I want to talk about that. And then I want to quickly transition real quick for the next few minutes to talk to you guys about something cool. I think this will air at the very end of July. Hopefully by now I will have signed a lease for the Teach the Children Resource Center. It's going to be out here in West Richland. It's a great story if you ever want to hear the story of how I got this spot. But with that being said, I do need some help getting it set up. There's a few rooms that need to be painted or a few spots that need to be painted. The carpets need to be cleaned. If anybody knows a carpet cleaner or can carpet clean or is willing to donate some money to carpet clean so I don't have to take money away from the pot of money I have set aside to pay for the rent for the next year to carpet clean, that would be a blessing. The carpet is in sort of rough shape. There's not enough money in the budget to replace the carpet. The landlord said I could if I wanted to. So I really just need to have someone come in and help me carpet clean. On top of that, it'd be great if someone or some people wanted to come in and help me clean the bathroom out and get it sort of set up. We're going to need bookshelves for all the curriculum. If you're looking around and you're like, oh my gosh, my house is swimming in or drowning in curriculum and I don't know what to do with it, don't take it to Goodwill. Don't take it to New Beginnings. Take the curriculum to me, especially if it's some of those more popular programs and books that a lot of the homeschoolers in this area are using. I will also have some books up for sale. I am ordering a bunch of the Kumin. Those will be available for purchase. I'm getting a couple other vendors who are going to supply me materials on consignment. So if you want to purchase it, you'll be able to purchase it there. So it's going to be really awesome, but I do just need a little bit of help getting set up. And if your business or if you know of a business who's willing to donate some time and, some elbow grease to come in and help me set up, that would be fabulous. And I'll be keeping you updated on Facebook on dates I'll be in cleaning. With that all being said too, if you're looking to teach a class or host a class and you would like to share your knowledge with the homeschool community, reach out to me. We can get you set up on a schedule. You can reserve a room and teach a class. There's a room fee. It's nothing major, but there will be a room fee, and that room fee will include you being able to reserve the room. And I can make you a Canva flyer so that I can post it on the Teach the Children Facebook page, and then you can promote it however you want to promote your class. And if you are a private tutor and you don't want people in and out of your house and you're just looking for a place to land, reach out to me. If you want to teach, music lessons, again, you don't want people in and out of your house, reach out to me. We can figure something out and we can work a schedule. There's 2 rooms in where I'm at, and they can both accommodate a group of kids up to about 8, maybe 10 if we cram in there. But it's going to be awesome. So I'm really excited about where we're going and this fall and then this winter and spring. And I do know, again, it is in West Richland. I will let you all know on Facebook. Hopefully by the time this airs, I'll be able to tell you where it's at. If not, just keep an eye on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll tell you guys all about it. So on that note, go enjoy your summer. Oh, and there's one more thing. Sorry, I keep forgetting this, and I don't know why I keep forgetting this. It's so cool. I think I mentioned it last week. Real quick. Teach the Children Homeschool podcast is a part now of the Hungry for Wisdom network. And I mentioned that last week, but I want to get a shout out because we are all up and running. So if you want to go check out all the other podcasts that I hook up with, it's hfw.network. And there's 4 other podcasts on there. And I don't even want to try to, I'll forget somebody or I'll say something wrong. Go check them out. They're great resources on theology stuff. And if you are wanting to learn another language, there's one in Spanish and there's one in, I want to say Mandarin Chinese. And then there's another one that's another theology one. And I would go listen to them. They're great. They've been fun to work with. And they have asked if this Teach the Children podcast wants to be on there, which I'm just so humbled to be asked to be on that podcast. So go check them out. And that's the last thing I wanted to say. And if you would like to be either sponsor that or have an ad run on either this Teach the Children podcast or on all of the platforms, reach out to me. We're looking for people who want to run ads. So if you have a business and you want to get in front of a couple hundred people on a weekly basis, reach out to myself or that Hungry for Wisdom network, hfw.network. And say, you know what, I want to run ads because we do get in front of a couple hundred people or more every week. And what a great way to get your business out in front of people. So with that note, I'll leave you. I hope you have a great weekend. And thank you so much for tuning in. Till next time, guys. See ya.